Today, but today I wanted to go ahead and finish up our uh, haunted silhouettes that we were working on last week. So if you remember, we were talking about family colors. That's where we have two colors that are close to each other on a color wheel, like orange and red. Uh, and we were also talking about silhouettes, and the silhouette is where we see the backlit image of something. So for this, we have a house, and because the sun or the light source is behind the house, we can't see any of the details. We just see the overall shape or outline of everything. So I'm going to move this one out of the way, and I'm going to go ahead and start on this one that's blank. Just so you know, I can't fit my whole piece of paper on this screen, so I have it slid all the way to the bottom here. And I'm going to start by doing my landscape. A landscape is a drawing or an image of anything that's like outside. Like if you're looking out the window of your house or your car, that is a landscape. It can include mountains, it can include forests, it can include cities, it can include houses, but it has to be something outside. It's not like a bowl of fruit or a painting of a person. So let's start with, I'm just going to put a little place for like some ground. We're using pencils at first, and I would recommend that you do yours lightly so that way if you want to erase it, you can erase it. But I just drew like a slight little hill on here, and I'm going to start by drawing my house. Just like when you were in kindergarten, I'm going to start with something pretty basic. I just have a rectangle. And on top of my rectangle, I can do a triangle. Now that you're in fourth grade, we can start to add more details like putting in maybe multiple windows or maybe on the side here of the house, I can add like another room. And this would have to have a roof too, and so it might be going to the side here like that. Now, I'm not doing anything too crazy. I'm just doing a couple little details on here, but uh, this will be part of our silhouette. When we're doing silhouettes, I can't see the stuff on the house like the number or the siding or different details like that. For our tree, the one I did on our example is kind of like a more of a Halloween stylized tree. So I'm going to start somewhere up here near the top of my paper. And what we did was we just did a kind of like a candy cane. So I'm going to do a little bit of a twirl. Kind of reminds me of The Nightmare Before Christmas, some of the stuff you see in like movies like that. And maybe I'll do another one on this side. And maybe I'm just going to do not too many. I'm not going to do anything too crazy because we have to paint this. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to do right now. I'm going to switch over to my black paint. So let's go back with that tree for a second because I think that's the easiest thing. I'm going to take my paint. I'm not using a giant brush. And I'm going to carefully, you only have one shot. Once the paint's on there, it doesn't come back off. Do the limbs of my tree. I'm just following those lines. I want to make sure I'm trying to do nice, smooth strokes with the paintbrush. Maybe here I could decide that I do want to add just a little bit of detail. So I added a couple little branches there. All right, let's work our way down. Let's do the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend like the lights are on in the house. So I'm going to paint everything except for the windows and maybe the door. So I'm just filling in those shapes or those spaces. That's what's really nice about silhouettes is really once you get the background done and then you have planned out what the shape is of everything, you're not doing tons of detail. You're just kind of filling in those shapes with the black. So go through and do that. A little chimney. Be careful, you don't want to be sloppy. Sometimes our brushes are too big for what we're trying to do, so we want to get a smaller brush. I'll leave all the paintbrushes and stuff with the substitute, so we'll take care of that. And for some reason, every year I have some students that forget to do this, but you also need to paint the ground because you can't just be floating on the sky. So I'm being careful not to get paint on the table. You guys will probably be using messy mats today, so I do want you to paint to the edge. And that's it. Once we get that, we have our silhouette finished. Whoop. Just take your time, do a nice job. Later on, I might come back with like a Sharpie or a black smelly marker when this paint is dry, and I'll add some like lines in the windows. My paintbrush that I'm using today is way too thick to be doing that, so I don't want to mess those kind of things up. There we go. I think it looks pretty good. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you take your time and do a nice job, and I can't wait to see them when I get back. Good luck, guys.